Art Club for inviting me today as a speaker. They're sending their welcome to you. And of course, we had a title out there on the posters, but the real title actually is, "Are you a cheeseburger?" And it was a little bit censored prior, so but now I'm putting it out there. We'll get to that. Basically, the idea was by originally the male HR club to invite me and let me share some of my experiences here during 5 years at PMU. Most of you know that I will be leaving this summer. And I thought, okay, it would be a great opportunity. And now let me just talk to some of the students. I see a lot of the students in here who had me as their instructor, and of course you have heard some of these things, but others may not. So really, my question today is, and we're going to answer it at the end, you're going to answer it for yourself, whether or not you're a cheeseburger. I'm just going to share some experiences here, 5 years in the kingdom. The way I'm going to lead through my presentation is using quotes by others. Why am I doing that? Because one of the things I did not enjoy so much in PMU that I have been constantly misquoted. Constantly, students have said, you know, Dean said this, Dean said that, and I never said it. So why not use quotes myself? And I have no idea whether these people really said these things. But since this quoting thing has followed me throughout my career here, I thought, okay, let me use quotes myself. I came almost 5 years ago. And there were a couple of things that I did not expect. Of course, you do a lot of research before you come to the kingdom, but still you're surprised by some of the aspects that you encounter. And one of the aspects that I really never expected to that degree was the incredible kindness that you showed to me. It was really, really phenomenal. And there's this wonderful statement that the everyday kindness that we experience in the back roads more than makes up for the headlines. And really, this is one of the things I've always emphasized during my travels, right? We read things in the headlines. Many of us don't even go beyond the headlines. And quite frankly, if you read Western media and read articles concerning Saudi Arabia, they're not always positive. It's true for most countries because headlines need to make sales, but you read a lot of things that are simply not true. So you read them, you come here, and you experience this incredible kindness. Actually, one of the earliest experiences was that I went to Hyper Panda in week 2, and you have to put yourself into my situation. I've never been in the Middle East before, and there are a lot of females around me wearing niqabs. So by all means, they're all terrorists, right? That's what I learned. You know, Western media, they're all terrorists, and they hate me, and they're just waiting to jump me. Really, this is what you learn. Now, I was in the store, and even somebody like me who is really open to the world, who considers himself a global citizen, I was not completely comfortable because of all these terrorists around me. So I am at Panda, and I was, one of my German colleagues here, Dr. Jörg, I don't think you ever had him, asked me to bring marmalade for him. He wanted a certain type of jam, marmalade. And I took one glass, and I wanted to read the label, and some joker before me had actually had opened the lid. So the moment I looked at the label, all the marmalade came out, and just splashing. And within a second, 6, 7, 8, 9 females, terrorists, rushed to me. Are you okay? In perfect English. Are you okay? Is everything okay? Is your suit fine? The friendliest, kindest people ever. And I finally shed this idea that, okay, just because something was taught to me by Western media, it has to be true. It was really, in week 2, it was an experience that was so important to me because I let go of all the prejudices, the stereotypes that even I, had in my head. And it was wonderful. And I really encourage you, whatever you read about other countries, wherever you go, visit the back roads, talk to the people, meet the citizens, and you will experience kindness. Maybe not in Germany, right? Maybe in Wuppertal, where Professor Lily is from, but probably it's in Germany. Do this, right? Don't go after headlines. So I think you would agree with me that if I read a German newspaper and there's a bad headline about Saudi Arabia, I should not fall for it. I should not go for it. When people post negative aspects about Saudi Arabia, I should actually stand up and share what is right. Stop doing this, right? Okay, we need to do the same for ourselves, right? As a student. Why would you go on Twitter and make comments about professors, right? About your faculty. Who should I take for management? Dr. So-and-so, Dr. So. Oh, don't take Dr. So-and-so, she is horrible. Right? We're falling for the same thing. We're believing Twitter, we're believing other comments. We never fact check. Yesterday, and I know, actually 2 days ago, and I know some of you might even be in this room, right? 39 students sign up on the list and send an email to demand a course in the summer. And they went straight to the vice rector. Wait a minute, 39 students, and this is a senior level course, 39 graduating students. That course has always been on the schedule. 39 graduating students fail to check the facts. What was passed around was an email that I had sent to a male student that this course was not on the male schedule. Somehow this email made it to the female campus. You know, and Allah could be male name, could be female name, we don't really care. And you went up into arms. I really encourage you, check your facts, right? Because this is one of those cases where I spent an hour and a half responding to 39 graduating students trying to tell them how professional conduct should be done. And I had a vice rector on my back who said, actually didn't really say, but in the same way that we assume, and rightly assume, that there is kindness in the back rows and we should not go by the headlines. Assume rightfully there's kindness in the classroom among the professors. Don't go by Twitter posts. Don't believe what others say. Check the facts yourself. Don't do to others what is being done to you. I really encourage you. This is one of the things I really strongly encourage. Check the facts. You're smart enough to do that. And even if you see an email that is shared by Dr. Wolfgang about something, remember it's Photoshop time, right? It could be anything. All you needed to do was just ask me or ask a secretary. The second aspect I did not expect to the degree that I encountered it was the sheer excellence that I found in Saudi Arabia. I never really thought about it. I didn't expect the worst or anything, but I've told those of you who were my students so many times before, the female students that I have seen here at PMU are the best students I've seen anywhere in the world. I would put you up against any student anywhere in the world. This is 100% true. And I said the female students, because my boys, they're as smart as you. They're as kind as you. They're as intelligent as you. But what they still lack is the urge to reach your full potential. I've seen this urge at the female campus. And many of you are much better than you even know. You have sometimes no idea how good you are because you move between other females and you move up together as a group, and you don't see the differences. We see them at the graduate level where we teach males and females together. Anywhere in the world, females are better students than male students. Anywhere in the world, there's no exception. But in Saudi Arabia, actually the discrepancy is even larger. So that was really, really exciting to me. And I continue to urge you, to urge yourself, to develop the urge to go to your full potential. You know, this week, Dr. Beverly always kindly invites me to her presentations, and I saw some students who were already really, really, really good. But remember, you can always get better. There should always be an urge to your full potential. And you have to remember that is why some faculty push you. And we hate them. I hated them myself when I was a student. But they push us because they want us to go and take advantage of our full potential. It's much easier to say, I don't care. Just do whatever you want. That's the easy way. Pushing you, working with you, making you stronger, developing you, that is what takes time. My long email, some of you are the recipients of my long email. That takes time. Faculty members really work very hard with you. It takes time and effort. We do this because we care. If we didn't care, yeah, whatever, just go. Yeah, everybody A+. Yeah, it's fine. No, we want you to improve. Now you may say, well, I don't care. I don't have the urge, and I don't want to reach my full potential, and I don't want to have personal excellence. Okay, fair enough. But here's the thing. You don't owe personal excellence to yourself. You don't owe it to your faculty. You don't owe it to your dean. You owe it to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, who provides you with an opportunity for higher education. Remember, there are literally hundreds of millions of young females who could never have access to higher education because their country doesn't support the kind of access that you have here. And you know yourself, it was very difficult for the longest time for you as a young female to actually get higher education access. You owe it to the kingdom. You owe it to Vision 2030. If you look at Vision 2030, which is a very, very pursuit-worthy endeavor, right? If you look at the details, if you look at the objectives, it requires you. You are required, if you look at these areas, whether you're a finance major, right? You're an accounting major in all these industries, HR, business administration, MIS, you are needed. And the kingdom overall will suffer if you don't push yourself to your full potential. Not just about you. This is about the kingdom and this vision. This is about a young crown prince who set this up and got it going. You owe it to the kingdom to push as hard as you can. Because the future of this kingdom, and I hate to tell you, rests on your shoulders. It's your shoulders, the female. Eventually my boys too, but they're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. They're as smart, as kind, as motivated, but they don't have the urge yet. By the way, those male students who are good, they're really, really, really good. We have some brilliant, brilliant male students. But overall, the urge, the commitment that I see in the classroom here at the female campus, I don't experience it over there. So just keep that in mind. So now, of course, you may ask, okay, if you already took my class, you know, but you may ask, okay, how do I accomplish personal excellence then? What are some of the other factors? Where can I start improving to reach that level? I'm going to look at 4 different areas. So I'm going to start off with the first one, which refers to getting advice, seeking advice. And this, I always love this statement, you know, that good advice will almost always be ignored. But as a faculty member, that doesn't stop us from giving it, right? The problem with people overall, not just young female Saudis, is that we don't know how to properly seek advice. We ask the wrong people. We either ask those individuals who love us too much, or we ask those who don't care enough. And they're both wrong. And I you know, when I came to the kingdom, actually, I came here and I turned on the TV because there was a TV in my house. I turned it on, and the first show that was on by chance was Arabs Got Talent. So since I know the format, it was pretty easy for me to understand what was going on. I learned my first few words. I learned that la 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 probably was not good, and num, num, num. You know, that was positive feedback. I know from my experience in other countries watching the same show that very often you would have somebody coming on the show performing a song, and then the judges would say, oh, la 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 la. That was horrible. But my grandmother says I have the voice of an angel. Yes, that's what your grandmother hears. People who love you, of course that's what they hear. They love you. They're biased. They will love the worst presentation you ever gave. They will still say, oh, wonderful, wonderful, right? People who love us are not good for seeking advice because they're completely biased, even if they try to be objective. You can't, right? You can't. On the other hand, you have those who don't really care. If you ask them for advice, can I do this? Is this possible? You'll hear, oh, you can do anything you want to do. Oh, sky is the limit. Of course this can be done. No, sky is not the limit. There are other limits. First of all, sky is not really the limit because we can go beyond that. But for us, there are limits before that. We can't do anything we want to do. If that were true, I'd be a movie star or a professional football player. No, we can't do anything we want to do. But we all have skills, we have talents, we have aptitudes. And if we become aware of them, if we develop them, then within certain directions we can enjoy great success. And our faculty members are here to tell you exactly that. Listen, this is not so good. But my grandmother said, no, forget about your grandmother. Really, these are your talents. These are your skills. This is what you should be doing. This is where you want to go. It's really important. All of us love to hear good feedback, right? We love to hear that, oh yes, this was great. We like it. But the constructive negative feedback is what helps us to develop. When we hear what is wrong with us, we can improve. That's why we do student evaluations. By the way, do your student evaluations. Sick and tired of sending out reminder emails all the time. By the way, it's the same for faculty, right? We want to hear what is wrong with us. And then hopefully we can improve. We're willing to improve, yes. Especially if you're early in your career, you're a new professor, you learn tremendously from your students. So when you seek advice, don't go to those individuals who love you too much. Don't go to those who really don't care. Seek those who have some kind of vested interest in your success, such as faculty members, or seek somebody who has done before what you want to do. They usually give you the best advice. They give you the best direction because they know exactly what it takes. And they too, if they serve as a mentor, will tell you, you know, this is maybe not such a good idea for you. I know I saw Ms. Noor here, who, you know, in one of our meetings, she told me that she had a passion for cinematography, for filmmaking. And I said, you know, why don't you send me something that you have? But I think I told you, you've got to be prepared. I'm going to be straightforward. If I think you're not good at it, I'm going to tell you you're not good at it. And you were good at it. And I still gave you feedback, though. I still told you, know, these are, because I also have a love for filmmaking. I studied filmmaking in New York on the side, because it's also my passion. You need to seek people who have some kind of vested interest, but you need to be willing to receive negative feedback. That is the key. Don't be scared of negative feedback. It improves you. You still can decide, I'm not going to take it, but if it's constructive, it is good. I get feedback from students before, your nose is too big on the student evaluation. Probably true, can't do much about it, don't want to get a nose job. Your shoes are ugly, I got that too. That's true too. I could get new shoes, but you know, doesn't really have to be done. So seek good advice. The other area in which I would encourage you to reflect on yourself is the area of ethics. Oh yes, ethics. Ethics. Ethical behavior. And once again, education really is the art of trying to instill ethics in you. Now, of course, the obvious question when you cheat on an exam, is that ethical or not, right? If you plagiarize your paper, is that ethical or not? I always ask that to my students. You know, if these multinational corporations cheat consumers out of billions of dollars, destroy the environment at the same time, is that ethical or not? And of course, all of you always say, no, that's not ethical. And then I always shock everybody saying, oh, it's completely ethical. That is 100% ethical. Because the problem that we do is we ignore that, yes, there are different types of ethics. Right? There are teleological ethics that look at whether something is good or bad for us. Yeah? We look at the outcome. Is this good or bad? If I cheat on the exam, I get an A. If I don't cheat because I didn't study, I would have gotten a D. So is the A good? Absolutely. A is much better than a D. So cheating was all right. The second way is deontological ethics. And those ethics ask the right question. Is what we're doing right or wrong? And that is the question that you have to ask yourself. In anything you do in life, is what I do is right or wrong, not good or bad, right or wrong? That is the key question. And sometimes it's hard to find role models in the world, especially if you're a business dean and you look around at multinational corporations, they do all the time what is good for them as opposed to what is right or wrong. But we can change the world. You're young. You can start a new generation of those who look at ethics in the way that we just focus on what is right or wrong. And that's not always easy to answer. How do I know whether something is right or wrong? I mean, that is really difficult. Well, actually, the simple answer is, it's simplified but still true. ask yourself, if everybody would be doing, everybody in the world would be doing what I am doing, would the world be better off or worse off? So if everybody were cheating in an exam to get a better grade, would the world be better off or worse off? I can tell you that the house in which you live with your children would collapse and kill your children because the architect cheated his way through architecture school. The surgery that you had, you would not survive because the doctor cheated her way through medical school. It's a simple question. Is the world better off or worse off? So I want you to focus on this. When it comes to these situations where you're not sure what to do, yes, doing the right thing can be bad. Doing the right thing can be bad. And those of you who took my class, you know that in my first year of college, I took 11 courses in Germany back then, 200 years ago. Normal workload, 11 courses. At the end of the first year, I had 10 Fs. 10 Fs. I only passed English with a C+. But I didn't cheat. 10 Fs, but I didn't cheat. Still today. I'm proud of that. I didn't cheat. Because once I cheat, I'm a cheater. And once you're a cheater, you're always a cheater. You will never be a non-cheater again. You cheat, you're a cheater. That's it. Don't cheat. Be ethical in terms of what is right and what is wrong. Not what is good or what is bad. It's one of the key factors. Of course, that is a big issue. Because you say, well, but I mean, this is so important, this exam for me, and then this course, and I can't repeat the course, and what about this paper, and it's due, and what's sometimes happening in these moments is that we overestimate the importance of our specific situation. We think this is the whole world. If this doesn't happen, everything collapses. It's the end of the universe. It's not. And what you sometimes have to do is recognize that there is a bigger picture. There's something way bigger than this specific situation in which you may be finding yourself right now. There's something beyond this small issue. And if you want to accomplish happiness, look at the big picture. Don't be derailed by small things in your life, like a low grade or something else that's going wrong. Happiness comes recognizing the big picture. I miss that big picture because most emails that I receive from you, and this time I really say you, the female students, indicate that whatever your concern is right now, that is a deal breaker for the universe overall. You know, it's a do or die for the universe. I'm going to show you some emails. All of these emails I have received since in this academic year. So we're talking since August of last year. I am covering the names. I'm only showing you the subject header. And by their very nature, you know, it shows the first line because that's how it shows in Outlook, right? Then I took screenshots. But these are the emails I received. Only one of them is from a male student. This is what I get from you. And you may not be able to see it. So let me read, you know, the subject headers to you. These are the subject headers. Important, urgent. Important issue, urgent. Important question. Important email. Important, urgent, very important. Very important. Three exclamation marks. Important. These are not the same. They're like important. Very important. Important. Very important. Urgent. Important. High. Important for my classes. Oh, thank you. At least some indicator what it has to do with. Important, urgent, very important, an important request, very important. Woo! That's a lot. That's a lot, right? Oh, I'm not even nearly done. Come on. This is this semester. An important issue. Final semester urgent. Very important. Urgent meeting. Important. Urgent, please. Thank you. Urgent, please. An important subject, please open it. Please open it. Urgent, important, urgent, important, important, urgent, important, final issue, important, urgent, urgent, important, important, urgent, so important. 7 exclamation marks. So important. Urgent, very important. Urgent, urgent, important, important, urgent, important, important, an important request. Again, nothing's twice here. Urgent, important, very important, urgent, thank you for your time. I made 3 dots here because this is still not all the email. I could have probably used 10 slides. So yes, consider something, right? This might be really important to you. Is it important to me when I think about the world, the bigger context? Is any of that important to me? I mean, I love you like I love my daughters. I always told you I care about you. But is that really important? See, when I think about importance, right? Hunger. Every single day, more than 20,000 children under the age of 5 die. Every single day. Since I started my presentation, hundreds of children have died because of starvation or disease. Right? That's what I think about when I hear important. Refugee crisis all around the world. Right? People are displaced from their homes, have no home anymore, live in tents, live in horrible circumstances. We have wars all over the world. People are getting killed, people are homeless, losing their families. That is important to me, right? I'm thinking about the gap between poverty and wealth, how the wealth become wealthier, wealthier, wealthier. The wealthy become wealthier, 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 and the poor become poorer and poorer and poorer. I think about the environment. Now you may say, listen, this is none of our concern in this education. I accept that actually. I'm getting an HR degree, a finance degree. I should not have to worry about this. This is your own decision, Dr. Wolf. If you care about starving children, that's your thing. May not be mine. And I accept that. But what is important to me in this context for this education is, once again, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Because I always write in my emails, I have to provide the kingdom with a workforce that possesses the expertise, the skills, the training, the knowledge to help the kingdom accomplish its Vision 2030. At the same time, I want you in a position where you can pursue long-lasting, successful, professional, fulfilling careers. So these little issues about you having a problem with a certain class that is at a time that you don't like, or some other issue, they're not important to me because I do look at the big picture. And you have to understand that. I know sometimes it's important because it's difficult, because what is important to us is always the biggest issue in the world, but really to somebody like me, it doesn't matter how many exclamation marks you put after very important, it's still not an important issue to me. I hate to tell you that. I don't try to devalue you. I love you just like I love, not like I love my cats. I love my cats more than I love you. But I love you. and really, but it's still not important. And you probably realize that from my emails. And the one thing I know that will always be in your head, no matter how long ago you will have graduated, is that you once had this German dean. And for some of you who are graduating this semester, or in the summer, I will have been the only business dean you ever had for your undergrad, because you have been here 5 years. I've been here 5 years, possibly. But the one thing you always remember, that I had this guy who was obsessed with rules. Right? Obsessed with policies and regulations and procedures and processes, and he didn't care about this and my special situation, my circumstances, and he didn't care about any of that. I just want to explain where this actually comes from. Germany, right? Germany. Oh, we like rules. We like policies, right? And here's a quote from Michelle Obama, who basically said, and you may think about her or her politics, whichever way you want, but who said, if you don't accomplish something in accordance with the rules, it's not worth anything, right? If you get something and you did not follow the rules, really, what is the value to it? And this is a very German sentiment. You've got to earn it fair and square. You've got to follow the rules. You have to show discipline. Do the Germans show the discipline, yeah? Is that true? Is that true that the Germans have the discipline? So German has a highway system called the Autobahn, and Saudis would love it because there is no speed limit. No speed limit. You can go as fast as you want to. On 60% of the Autobahn, 40% still the speed limit because the closest thing, but you can just go as fast as you want. I mean, a dream for your brothers and for some of you probably too. If traffic slows down, German drivers think there could be an accident in the front. So we better make sure that if there's an accident and an ambulance is required, that ambulance get to that spot. And they all clear the road. Just to make sure, in case we're still driving, but we make sure if there's an accident, let's clear the road. And I hope you can see this video. I don't know about the lighting, but this is what happens on German Autobahns when traffic slows down.
I miss this road.
Can you see this? They're still driving, they're rolling. And yes, there is an ambulance. And by following this simple rule, not putting ourselves atop of others, we may have saved lives right there. Look at this. Nobody go cutting it. Nobody trying to get ahead of somebody else. Hey, listen, traffic slowed down, you can't see it, but they're still rolling, they're still driving. Let's make space in case there's something. Let's be disciplined, let's follow rules. As simple as that, because we might be saving your life right. There's no such thing like this one here. Now, she's pregnant, yes. This one, late for class. This one has a doctor appointment. This one has an issue. Every single one of them could come up with an excuse that would justify for them to, you know what? Let me just go through there because it's all free. Nobody is doing this. So if you ever wonder why I am the way I am, this is where I grew up. We don't put ourselves on top of others. We treat everybody the same way. We don't assume that just because our situation is different from yours, we should get special treatment. No, we treat everybody the same, including ourselves. And that's what I always told you, right? By applying policy independently from your situation. I never discriminated against you. Whether you had WASTA or not, it didn't matter. I had politicians in my office, I had high-ranking officers in the military in my office trying to get advantages. I don't care. I treat everybody the same. You're male, you're female, you get treated the same. It doesn't matter. Rich, poor, I like you, I don't like you because of this guy. I all like you, but it doesn't matter. I treat everybody equally. I like rules, I like policies, and that's why I have them, because I grew up in that country. And higher education requires policies too. And the higher education policies that I try to enforce at PMU are appropriate for what we're trying to accomplish, giving you access to higher education in order for you to gain knowledge and hopefully pursue long-lasting careers. If you don't understand that, if you think, you know, I'm not gaining access here, I'm buying a degree. If you think that if I just want, you know, I have instant gratification rights. I can just waltz into my faculty member's office and I have to be served. If this is the mindset that you have, if you believe that we're really manufacturing something here, that we are McDonald's, that you just can come and even you can serve whenever you want, well then, that would make you a cheeseburger. So the question of whether or not you are a cheeseburger is something that only you can answer. It is determined by the way you view education. How do you view this process? Who are the faculty members? Are they just putting sandwiches together and serving us because you want something right now? Can you just waltz into their offices because, hey, you know, it's opening hour, so I have to be served right now? If this is your mentality, you're a cheeseburger. I encourage you if you have a tendency to be like this, at least be a Big Mac. Right? At least have the urge to be every burger you can possibly be. Be a Whopper, be a double, be a triple Whopper. That's what I encourage you. If you have to consider this to be McDonald's, at least go for the top. Go for the whole menu. I'm a Big Mac, supersized with a Coke. I am leaving this summer, and I have so much love in my heart for the kingdom and so much love in my heart for you. Really, it has been the best years of my life education-wise, and I'm only leaving because I leave every 5 years. I seek something new every 5 years. My 2 cats are super upset that we're leaving, especially Murphy, who's like totally homey with the cats, you know, in the compound. But I'm leaving with love, and I'm leaving with confidence for the kingdom. I know that the kingdom has the talent, it has the labor pool that is required to accomplish Vision 2030. I have full confidence in you to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish as part of the talents that you have, the skills, the expertise. And I know that you have support that you did not even know about yet. Because, and I'm not making this up, every single day, every single evening, before going to bed, someone is praying for you. Because I told her about the wonderful students I have, I told her about the treatment I received here, the kindness that I had every single night. My mother is praying for me. This is not Photoshop, this is her. Saudi flag, pride. She thanks you for being kind to me. She thanks you for understanding the mission I had. I never came to be liked. We as professors never came to be liked by you. We came to prepare you for a future that will be challenging, but has wonderful rewards for you. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.